Okay, so thank you very much, Alex, for the kind introduction, and welcome everyone, and thanks for being here last day after lunch. So it's always challenging. So today, I will talk about. I already talked about this loop during the panel on the first day. But before starting, just a brief. Just to say that for the ones who doesn't know Rennes, so Rennes is in the far west. In the far west of France, and I'm a member of the hybrid team, which is a team which mainly works on virtual and augmented reality, is their main subject. And just to highlight that we work in different areas in VR. Here you have some examples on things that we do what we work in our team. From, of course, there is VR, but we also work in brain-computer interfaces, and we have also various domains of application, such as medical or, for example, cultural heritage. But let's go back to the talk. So today what I want to talk is about my favorite loop, which is the perception action loop. So this is something that you do every day in your life. You are at the moment going over this loop by listening to me, understanding what I'm saying, and maybe thinking that maybe you want to be elsewhere, but that's not the point. In reality, to do such a task like grabbing an object it's easy. You are used to do this. It's natural. You don't think about it. But what happens when you are in a synthetic environment, in a virtual environment? Here, things might look real, but maybe you cannot feel it, and maybe things doesn't work as you expect to work. And this is why. It's because in VR you're in a mediated environment. You are in an environment in which you require some additional tools, some additional methods to interact with, and that's why this action perceptual loop, it gets complicated. So you have your inner perceptual loop, which is working in yourself, but you have this additional loop which somehow allows you to interact with this virtual environment. So you have a lot of constraints, input, output, perception issues, let's say performance issues. So there is a lot of things that might happen. But today I don't want to talk a lot about the loop. I want to talk something that we've been working in the team for already like several years, which is somehow some intermediate element that also can mediate in this loop, which is the avatar. And by the avatar, I mean the representation of the user. So I'm not talking about an independent agent, I'm talking about the actual user representation. And the goal of this presentation is to somehow highlight a bit the work I've been doing in this respect and how avatars are useful and, let's say, relevant for VR. So here just some examples of some work that we've done with avatars. So nowadays you can have a really nice looking avatars. You can somehow create some interesting experiences to either explore what the